The medieval Bayeux Tapestry has arrived in London for a landmark exhibition at the British Museum after leaving France for the first time in more than 900 years. Overnight, the 68-metre-long masterpiece crossed the Channel in a climate-controlled lorry under police escort. The French President Emmanuel Macron describes the loan as a symbol of the long-standing friendship between France and the UK. Let's speak to our correspondent Lee Milner, who is at the British Museum. A really exciting day for everyone there. Lee, take us through it.
Oh, Sam, honestly, there's been so much excitement here this morning. The past 24 hours has been amazing. So what happened was, in the dead of night, nobody knew here what was going on. We saw a lorry literally backing up just behind us towards the museum, and it had come from a secret location in France. It was chaperoned by police, and it was transported in a really high-tech container. When I talk about that, what I'm saying is it had shock absorbers, it had gadgets that made sure that the temperature was fine, the humidity was fine, because of course this is a very, very delicate and fragile object. Now, its journey has of course taken months to plan just for one night on the road, but this is an historic moment, you know, as the Bayeux Tapestry arrives in Britain for the first time in almost 1,000 years.
Long before smartphones and social media, people told stories with needle and thread. The Bayeux Tapestry tells one of the most famous stories in British history, the Battle of Hastings in 1066. Now it's arrived in the UK for the first time in almost 1,000 years. Its journey from Normandy has been a huge operation. Thought to have been made in England after the Norman Conquest, the tapestry is almost 70 metres long and incredibly fragile. Some experts feared the move could damage it, but every stage of the journey has been carefully planned, with strict climate control and technology to reduce even the smallest vibrations.
It's absolutely central to the British national story. Every British child knows the date of 1066, the Battle of Hastings. Perhaps in France the equivalent might be 1789. So it's that important to our history. And it is so visual, it's so powerful, and it speaks so well to children that I just think it will be an enormous success.
French President Emmanuel Macron said the loan is a symbol of trust and friendship between France and the UK. He described it as more than an exchange of art, but a sign of the country's shared future. When it goes on display to the public in September, all 70 metres will be laid out in one continuous line inside specially designed cases, thought to be the longest museum showcase in the world. Visitors will be able to see the tapestry like never before, offering a completely new perspective on one of history's greatest masterpieces.
Now, as you can imagine, this has been hugely popular with visitors. Did you know that more than 80,000 people joined the queue when the tickets first went on release just last week? And it, as you can imagine, just sold out. Adult tickets, I've got the prices here if you're thinking of going, because wait, I've got some good news, just hang on. Tickets are priced at £33 during the peak season and £27 during off-season. Under 16s go free as well. Now, it is a little bit pricier than it would cost in Normandy. Usually €12 to see the tapestry there, but as I say, children under 16 will go free, and this has been immensely popular, especially with schools, not just here in the UK but across the world. Members of the public, this is the bit that you want to listen to. I've got some great news, because even though the tickets have sold out, we have been told that they will go back out. More tickets will go back out on general release in October, and then again in January. Now, listen to this. This is a great statistic, okay? So more than 6 million people visit the British Museum right here every single year. The most successful exhibition in its history was the 1972's Treasures of Tutankhamun, which attracted 1.69 million visitors. And you know what, Sam? I think this will beat it.
Yeah, I need to get in line for my tickets. Lee, thanks very much. Well, speaking to BBC Breakfast earlier, Hélène Duchesne, who's the French ambassador to the UK, spoke about the significance of this for France and British relations.
I hope that you had a good night, because I had a very short night. I spent part of my night at the British Museum waiting for the Bayeux Tapestry and seeing the tapestry arriving in a truck. What does it mean for me? You know, my main job is fostering bilateral relations between UK and France, and this loan is an exceptional moment in this bilateral relation. Is the moment where we show how close our ties are. You probably know that it is the first time that the Bayeux Tapestry has left the French soil. It has been a big endeavor to protect it and give it the possibility to travel in safe ways. It's also a goal that was announced in 2018 and that has been confirmed by President Macron in 2025 when he came back in the UK for the state visit. And it also a human endeavor with French and British teams working together with curators, with restorers, with specialists to make it possible. So it's an extraordinary story, as our common story is, and it's also a message for the future. That means that our story builds on wars, on the thing we did at this moment is also a sign for the future. Now we are building on peace, and we have been working for peace together. You remember the Entente Cordiale, you remember Churchill and de Gaulle working for fighting for the peace of Europe. And now we are side by side when we see the war coming back on the European continent. We have been building the coalition of the willing. We are side by side to see and address all the challenges on our time, and they are numerous. So it's a message for the past, but you know, this tapestry is an unfinished tapestry, and it's also the message that the future is also us, and we have to build it together. So I think it's a very strong message from the past, but also for the future.
Well, Didier Reichner is the founder and chief editor of Tribune de l'Art. He told my colleague Taigan Wright he thinks it's too much of a risk moving the tapestry.
I am against this decision, you know. I think we are gambling with a work of art which is 1,000 years old, and there is no equivalent anywhere in the world. So it's a gambling, and I don't think we can gamble with such a work. The point is, they don't know how the tapestry, which is an embroidery actually, they don't know how it will arrive at the British Museum. They don't know what will happen when they unpack it, you know, and afterward there is a return back, the return, and they did all they could, but they didn't study the way the tapestry react with the vibrations. They don't know at all. So they did what they could, but I repeat, it's a grumbling.